What's up, guys? I know this video is coming out really late for you guys. I usually get this out right after the game. But I was actually at the Saints game today, and this was actually the game to go to this year because the Saints actually put together one of the very few good performances, or all-around performances when it comes to offense, defense, special teams. They got the job done against the Giants 24-6, and keep the Giants, they're not good. You know, they're 5-9 now. They were 5-8 going to this game, but there was all this hype going into the game about Tommy DeVito and how I think the Giants had won 3 straight, or if not 3 straight, it was 3 out of 4. And we know they had that huge win on Monday night against the Packers last week, and the Tommy DeVito hype is at an all-time high. You know, everyone talking about Tommy DeVito. The Saints put that bullshit to an end. The Giants did not even get in the end zone, and it looked like for a second things weren't going to be very good because on the first possession of the game, we forced a 3-and-out, and then we roughed their punter, giving them a first down and basically giving them a field goal. But the defense came to play today. It's been very few instances this season in which I've been able to give an all-around positive recap. You know, even in like some of the wins we've had, like the Bears win, I was very unhappy with just because of the way we just struggled to close that game with all the turnovers. And then even the Panthers game, you know, it was 14-6 with 5 minutes left against a 1-12 team, and it just wasn't good. This game, it was 7-6 at halftime, I'm pretty sure, but the Saints took over the game in the third quarter and pretty much put this game away. The defense, like I said, came to play. They did not fuck around with Tommy DeVito one bit. In fact, I think the Saints defense, who we've known has a lack for pass rush and has just not gone to the quarterback at all this season, they had 7 sacks. 7 sacks. Can you fucking believe that? Like, they actually got to the quarterback today, and the Saints defense only allowed 193 total yards, and at least 50 of those were in garbage time when it was already 24-6. This is one of the best games the defense played all year because although the Giants aren't an offensive juggernaut, I was really worried coming into this game about the Giants running all over us with Saquon and even Tommy DeVito a little bit, but we did very good in shutting down the run game. They only had 60 rushing yards, 16 rushing attempts, 16 attempts for 60 yards. You will take that. You will absolutely take that. That's 2 for 16 on third down. Holy shit, I didn't even know that. We held them to 2 for 16 on third down. That is amazing. That's really good. Good shit, defense. Some of the players that stood out to me today on defense, Demario Davis was everywhere in the first quarter early on. He had a sack. He had like 3 or 4 tackles for loss in like the first quarter. Not tackles for loss, but tackles for no gain or minimal gain, or you know what I'm saying. You know, Demario Davis was everywhere. He was our leading tackler. He had 2 TFLs, a sack, a quarterback hit. Tano Passanio had 3 sacks alone today, who I don't know if he even had a sack at all this season. I don't even remember him contributing much since the 2021 season. He came to fucking play today. Alontae Taylor had a pretty good game, from what I remember. Jordan Howden had some moments. Brian Brzee, the whole D-line really did their thing today. That's definitely something to be proud of. Chris Olave didn't play today, but this is where I talk about Derek Carr. I have been very harsh on Derek Carr all offseason for the expectation that the average Saints fan places on him. What do I mean by that? Most Saints fans on social media and just in general leading up to the season were hyping up Derek Carr to be the guy to bring the Saints over the top. And if you guys have been here for a while, you know, at least since this offseason, you know that I was never buying into the Derek Carr hype. I thought Jameis Winston deserved another chance, and there's no reason to pay Derek Carr $30+ more million a year when you can literally bring back Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston to do the same thing for way less money. I'm not switching up on Derek Carr. I will stand by what I said. I think he's a very mid quarterback who, if you give him a good coach and you give him good weapons, he can be a slightly above average quarterback. Now, if you give him a situation like in New Orleans where Pete Carmichael's your offensive coordinator and you have weapons but they're injured and all that, he's not going to look very good. And that's kind of what we've seen. With the bad coaching staff, a mid quarterback has been worse than mid. But today, Derek Carr had his best game of the season, even without Michael Thomas and Chris Olave in this game. He went 23 for 28 for 218 yards and 3 passing touchdowns, which we have not seen all year. Derek Carr has not thrown that many touchdowns in a single game at all this season, and he threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Fucking phenomenal. The receiver room was very thin today because there was no Olave. Receiving game, Kamara was our leading receiver with 5 catches for 44 yards. Juwan Johnson stepped up with a nice touchdown in the third quarter. Lynn Bowden had some moments. Jimmy Graham had another touchdown. That's crazy. Jimmy Graham had a touchdown. Keith Kirkwood, 2018 Saints legend, had a touchdown today. The guys who you're not accustomed to stepping up did step up in this game, and you like to see that. There was no Taysom Hill today. I didn't even notice that until I'm looking at the box score now. Taysom Hill had 1 carry for 1 yard, and that was it. He had 1 catch for 4 yards. There was no Taysom Hill in this game. I don't like that. I know we got the job done today, but that better not be a trend. We better be getting Taysom Hill involved soon. But, I didn't even notice it until, 9 hours after the game, or 6 hours after the game. So, I guess all is not that bad. But let's talk about the division now, what's happening there. Most of you guys probably know the Falcons lost to the 2-12 Panthers. The Panthers clutched up and beat the Falcons on a game-winning field goal, which is great. So now the Saints are second place in the division because Tampa Bay did beat Green Bay. Baker Mayfield balled out in that game. So we're still tied with Tampa, and Tampa technically holds a tiebreaker because they beat us 26-9 back in Week 4. We play them again Week 17, which is basically going to decide the division, basically, because we have the Rams on Thursday, which they won today against Washington. I'm not confident about the Rams game. I am not. I hope we win. That'd be great. But ideally, if we're talking playoffs, whether it's winning the division or the 7th seed, I think the most likely scenario for the Saints to sneak in the playoffs would be as the NFC South winner. And I think the most likely way that happens is if they go 2-1 in their last 3 games. And I think the 2 games that you definitely want to win, if you're only going to win 2, is the Tampa Bay game and the Atlanta game. Because you play Tampa Week 17 and you play Atlanta Week 18. I think this game against the Ravens, if we lose, it's not over. Even if we get destroyed, it's not over. Because the Rams game is the one you can actually afford a loss in because it's not a division game. So if you lose against the Rams, it's not over, but then you have to win your next 2. But obviously, obviously the goal should be to run the table. Go 3-0 these next 3 games. And then see what happens, whether you're the NFC South winner or you're the 7th seed or the 6th seed or whatever happens. But obviously the goal is to win the division, and the path is there. It's right in front of you. If we win out, we're going to win the division. That's just how it. If we win all 3 of these games, we're the NFC South champions, and we play probably the Philadelphia Eagles in the wildcard round. But till then, Saints got to take care of business. I was actually, pleasantly happy with today. I don't have much to complain about, believe it or not, and I usually find something to complain about. But, today was good. The Giants aren't a great team. The Saints started very slow, like they've been showing. But even with, being out some receivers and playmakers on offense, they still found a way to score just enough points, and the defense didn't fuck around today. So I love that. That's great to see. We got a short week. We play the LA Rams on Thursday. And that's going to be something. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sorry it's late. And I will see you guys on Thursday for the Rams game.